Hey, what's up? It's Begley from ctboom.com, and we are here for our first installment of Poppin Caps. This is going to be one of my favorite things that we've done on the website. I'm just a huge fan of craft beers and breweries, and there's so many great ones here in Connecticut, too. So I'm here with Steve from Town Line Fine Wine, Spirits and Beer here in Stratford, right in the Big Y Plaza here, if you're familiar with Stratford. And we're going to try two roads this week. So we're going to kick off this feature with a local Connecticut brewery that is one of the biggest here in the state. So Two Roads Brewery, we're going to try a bunch of their beers, and Steve's going to give us a little rundown on each one of them, and we're going to taste them. So let's start. What's the first one we have here?
You know what, let's actually start down at this end right here. We'll start with the olfactory Pils. It's a traditional style Pils that's then dry hopped. That adds a little bit of extra hoppiness to what is otherwise kind of a lighter, crisper style of beer. Good for summer, and in that spirit too. Craft cans over the last year or so.
Which is great for the beach and places you can't bring bottles.
Exactly. They've gotten to be really big. Not that long ago, there was no such thing.
Right.
And now there is tons of them.
Wow.
So, let's get going.
Let's try it, yeah. So this is the olfactory?
This is the olfactory Pils.
The Two Roads olfactory Pils.
The name's a little bit of a play on words. It's made in an olfactory, and in addition to that, it's also, the hops add a lot of aroma to it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's good. It's definitely lighter. Like for people who don't like the big, heavy IPA, it seems like a little lighter.
Right.
That aspect.
but it's not so light. Like I said, with the dry hopping, you do get some of that hop character that is,
Right.
you know,
So
still
people
what
that
draw
do like
people
the hops,
to the
yeah.
IPAs. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, let's stick with the cans. So let's go to the Honey Spot Road White IPA from Two Roads.
Absolutely. Obviously, anybody from Stratford knows where Honey Spot Road is. Leads right up to the brewery. That's the name. The white IPA is another kind of, in addition to the craft cans being kind of a new thing, the white IPAs are more of an evolving style as well. It's basically made like an IPA, but they do add wheat to the process.
Oh, okay.
So you do get a little different kind of mouthfeel to it. It adds a little something extra to what is otherwise a IPA.
Nice. And it does look on the lighter side as opposed to some of the other IPAs.
Exactly.
So that's real good. All right, the next one we're going to try is the Saison, the Workers' Comp from Two Roads.
Absolutely.
Poppin'.
This guy here is a more traditional style of Saison. Traditionally, Saisons were what the farmers made for themselves. So the wort was made from a blend of different grains. It was some wheat, it was some rye, it was some barley. It really kind of depended on what kind of farmer you were and what you had left over. So they've gone back to a more traditional style because more recently people tend to make it as a predominantly wheat beer.
Okay.
This is in fact a blend of different grains. Just real nice, perfect for summer. It's got some. It is light, but you've got some kind of spice to it,
Right.
and just it's a different. It's a good for a change of pace.
Which makes sense. I kind of like that history of it because it's called the Workers' Comp, and it's got the time card on the bottle and the factory. Like it's really great.
And in this glass, you'll get kind of the whole like aromatics of it and everything else.
Oh yeah, that's nice. That's really good.
Yeah, a little spicy.
Yeah, I've never had that Saison. That's great. All right, so we are moving on to the Bomber portion of the Two Roads beers that we're tasting today. And Bombers, of course, are these big, tall bottles. And a lot of people collect the Bomber collection. So in my apartment, I've done it for years. I have bottles in my apartment above my sink. And if you look over here, there's a giant collection here at Town Line that goes all the way around and around the corner. And Steve, that's your collection?
That is.
Bottles?
That is. That was a long weekend. But no, that's every time we have something new, anytime I pop open a Bomber, whether it's with my friends, whether it's just going to be my gem for the evening, I've always kept the bottle, and we decided to line them all up there. So.
Nice. So this is going to be part of our Poppin Caps feature, is that we want you to make Bomber collections. So get one of these Bombers here at Town Line and collect as many as you can. Send us your photos, how many you collect at once. And let's try this one right here. This is the double IPA, the Road to Ruin.
It is the Road to Ruin double IPA. Hopheads, this is the one you're going to want. Booze Hounds, this is going to be the one you want. A lot of hops, a little higher alcohol content on it. Really well done.
And hoppy IPAs seem to be the trend. I was saying this earlier that They seem to be really popular right
Yep.
now. So if you're really into the IPAs and that hoppiness, this is your one of the two reds.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm one of those guys. Like I'm a hophead,
Sure.
all the way. So
One thing I really like about this is some of the hoppier beers are so hop focused that there's no balance to it. There's
Right.
no malt backing
right,
it up.
you kind of just get the aftertaste. Like there's no.
I love this beer, and I'm not necessarily the biggest hophead, purely because it's just so well balanced. That's what I'm talking about when I really say that it's just a really well.
It's drinkable. It's a good drinkable beer. Nice. All right, we're moving on to the last beer, and it's also a bomber in the Two Roads collection here at Town Line Fine Wine. And this is the Henry's Farm. Tell us a little bit about it.
The Henry's Farm is a double box style, so you have a little extra malt, you have a little extra weight to it, but it's still not over the top. It's again, one thing that these guys do really well is balance and just putting together a really solid beer. So you know what? Let's pop it.
Let's pop it up. That's good. It almost tastes like a more of a winter type beer. Is that wrong to say? Or-
No, that's not wrong at all. Traditionally, it's more of a winter, early spring
Right.
kind of style. But it's, personally, I'm, like I said before, I'm not necessarily the biggest hophead.
Right.
I do prefer kind of the maltier style, so this is definitely something I would still quit to.
Awesome. And for your bomber collection, like it's got that great artwork on the front. Like I was just
Yeah.
saying, it was great. All right, so this wraps up our first installment of Poppin Caps here at Town Line Fine Wine in Stratford. And thanks to Steve for helping us out with this. This
My
is
pleasure.
fantastic. And thanks to Two Roads for all these delicious beers. So next week, we're going to feature beers that your dad will love for Father's Day. So if you want to get your dad a six-pack for Father's Day, or you just want to impress him by buying him a cool beer for Father's Day, we're going to feature those next week. So thanks for watching. Thanks to Steve. And we'll see you next week for Poppin Caps on ctboom.com.